Hey, what's going on YouTube? This is Sever7, and today we are checking out the Poikilo Blades Armadillo, and it's the ultimate goal of seeing if it's worth adding to your collection or your daily carry rotation. Now, these knives were provided for review by Poikilo, and I do not get to keep them. And they were also designed and OEM'd by Poikilo. Now, before I jump into it, I do want to say a huge thank you for all the subscribers, everyone that's commented and liked on the videos. The growth has been awesome, and just know that you're very appreciated. Thank you. Now, this is part of Poikilo's Bio series. They've got the Bio, EDC, Futuristic, and Tactical series. And we have two different versions here. This is going to be their pearlescent version, and then this is going to be their stone-washed version. So I'll bring the stonewash back out in a little bit, but we're going to start with the pearlescent. So right out of the gate, we've got titanium scales for the front and back. We have, if you look at this pivot, it's got a little extra on it where it's got like satin flats, and then the little rivets are going to be I don't know how you would say it, I guess like darkened, but cool detail. We have no hardware on the front. And then if we flip it over to the back, we have no hardware on the back save for the pivot. That is a T8 pivot screw, by the way. We do have a relatively deep carry milled titanium pocket clip. It's non-reversible. We do have a very cool 75% backspacer. We've got, and this is kind of where the Armadillo comes in. We've got these like spiked humps going through the back. Very, very cool aesthetic. We do have a, what's called a pig snout for a lanyard. And overall, very, very cool design. Now, as far as the ergonomics go, so, this knife is kind of built for comfort. We have big, generous, rounded off areas for, full four-finger grip. I have large, extra large glove size hands. And even with that, I still have a little bit of room back here. Not enough for a whole other finger, but enough that I can space out if I want to. I can kind of like, extend my grip a little bit. Enough space that I can kind of choke back and have some room up here still. This here can act as a finger choil, but you want to pistol grip it. I actually don't feel the point or the, I don't feel the blade at all. So even here, I don't feel it. So, I'm going to say this is a functional finger choil, which means you can further extend your grip up. We do have some jimping here. The jimping is semi-functional, so it's not going to completely lock you in. And that's because while it is toothy, it's not very deep, right? So it is functional jimping, just not the most functional jimping, if that makes sense. Now this knife does feel a little meaty for its size. A lot of that weight's coming from the handle. And then as far as the balance goes, well, I said a lot of the weight's coming from the handle, but it looks like we're pretty perfectly balanced. So I guess it's just a chunk all around. Now we have this really nice harpooned Bowie style blade. I love this. I think it's very stylistic, very cool looking. This has that pearlescent stonewash. So it's a stonewash, but it's really reflective, catches light really nicely. We are rocking a flat grind, and we have Bowler M398 on the blade. Now, Bowler is essentially just like a better version of M390, the Bowler M398. It's not very tough. It's going to have awesome edge retention, and it's still going to be corrosion resistant. Now, as far as the detent goes, I can say I'm a really big fan of the detent on this guy. We've got a rear flipper, and then we've got this reverse flicking hole that we can use. So Flipper works fantastic. Now this one I did get to spend more time with. So this one has really kind of come into its smoothness. Reverse flick is money. Oh, and then I botch it. There we go. And then we've got a really, what I know is going to become a hydraulic controlled drop. But right now it just takes a little bit of encouragement. But yeah, overall, the action on this knife is actually one of my favorite of all the Poikilo blades. Acoustics are very nice. We have a very full, like, ka-chunk at the top. We have a little click on the disengage if you can hear it. And then nothing too special on the drop. Just a little tink. Lock bar access is incredible. We have a lot of space in here. We also have the front scale knocked back, so we have plenty of room, and this has been scalloped out. So it is the most enjoyable disengaging, probably of any knife ever. Like I use the term enjoyable for disengaging, right? Like it's actually part of the experience. I mean, it's just, you wonder why a knife would have any other form of disengagement. Like this is doing all of the things. The knocked back front scale, the scalloping, you know, nice and comfortable, plenty of room, right, to access it. Just feels fantastic. And while the clip is not reversible, this is still somewhat lefty friendly because we've got a good amount of space back here. You can also ride the clip pretty easy. I'm not a lefty. There we go. But I can still manipulate it left-handed, even if I come up higher. And I'm going to attempt the reverse flick, which I don't think I'll be able to manage because I'm not a lefty, but well, I can't even. Okay, yeah, I can't, but it's not the knife's fault. It's 100% my fault. So I would say a lefty could use it based on deployment, but it does have an exposed lock bar, which will make it a little bit harder, and then it's non-reversible. So I guess anything's lefty friendly if you're brave enough, right? So as far as size goes, we have an overall length of 7.75 inches. Actually, I'll go ahead and bust out the stone-washed version. Overall length of 7.75 inches. We have a blade length of 3.4 inches and a blade to handle ratio of 0.78 or 78%. Very cool. Very cool looking knife. As far as the weight goes, we are rocking 4.1 ounces. So definitely not a little guy. And let's do some size comparisons. Up against the Civivi Altus. Quite a bit bigger. Up against the Real Steel Sylph. Still quite a bit bigger. And just to get a big boy on the table, we're going to bring out the ProTech Integrity button lock. And that's coming in. It looks more drastic to you guys, but it's probably about, maybe 1/8 of an inch. Yeah. Maybe a little bit more. But the ProTech is just a hair bigger than the Armadillo. Now, is this something that I would add to my daily carry rotation, or is this something that I would collect? Well, before I answer that, let me show something to you. As far as the break-in period goes, because I did not use this one, I did use this one, right? So, deployment. So I don't know if you can tell, but this one was harder to actuate because it hasn't been broken in. So we'll do it one more time. So substantially less effort for this one. This one's doable, it's fine, but it just hasn't broken in yet. See, I just failed the reverse flick on that one just because it's not broken in yet. And this one here, I hit every time. So that's kind of what I'm talking about. Whenever you get a Poikilo blade, pretty much no matter which one you get, you're going to have to spend a little bit of time breaking it in. And this is a good example of that. So as far as usage, yeah, I mean, this has been an awesome user. You got, let's get the elephant out of the room here. You have a slight recurve, right? Your tip is pretty dang high, right? So if you want to get the tip down, you're going to have to compensate a lot. But you have a lot of belly right here that's super easy to access, which makes it a good daily user. And then with this recurve, it's slight, but recurves pull you into your cut, right? So if you're cutting through a box or through paper and you start here, instead of gradually sliding out, you're going to gradually slide in or stay right where you started the cut at, right? So you'll be able to, essentially what it turns into is you can cut a box all the way down and not worry about getting halfway down and then slowly cruising out of the cut. You know what I'm saying? So, while this isn't the most EDC friendly blade, or I don't want to say friendly, but it's not the most optimized EDC blade, this is still going to cover 95% of everything that you would want to do. If you have some draw cuts and it's really important for you to have the tip down, then, this probably isn't going to be it for that task. But as far as general daily use, this is going to do fantastic. That paired with it kind of, I don't know why, because it doesn't really look like it, but it kind of reminds me of the Protean, right? The Prince Customs Protean. And it doesn't even really look like it, but just the overall feel and a little bit of the aesthetic, that's just kind of what it reminds me of in hand. And I think I'm a little biased towards it because of that, because I had a Prince Customs Protean at one point and I really, really enjoyed it. So I might be skewed a little bit towards this knife for that reason, maybe a little biased. But overall, this is a solid knife. Now, the price of this is coming in at $400. I think that's an excellent price for this knife. You're getting, zero hardware, awesome build quality, fantastic action, insanely tight tolerances, M398 blade steel. There's a lot of good going on here to hit that price point, especially when you compare it to like, a Benchmade. That's USA made, and this is made in China. But what does $400 get you with Benchmade? It gets you like an aluminum bug out. You know what I'm saying? So like when you compare the machining, the quality, the tolerances, you're getting so much more knife here. I'm going to link it at White Mountain Knives. I don't know that they have it yet because this is a really new model and not everyone's gotten it. But with my code S7, you get 10% off of White Mountain Knives, which drops the price down to $360, which makes this an absolute steal. You have to keep in mind that we haven't really had a stepping stone between like a Riot, Best Tech up into like mid-techs and customs, right? We really haven't had, as far as quality goes, a stepping stone between those two. Well, Poikilo takes not with their mid-tech version, they have mid-techs too, but just with their base versions of their knives, they're a step above Riot, and Best Tech, which means usually their price is going to be a step above them as well. But they're kind of that in-between. So instead of stepping from Riot into a mid-tech or into a custom, you can go from Riot to Poikilo, right? So you actually have a direction to take your collection, if the aesthetic speaks to you and if you like the style of knife and you like what I'm saying about it, you actually have kind of a path that you can go. And I've been there myself, where I had like the Sharp by Designs. I love, I had the Riot Zorro, which I love, but I wasn't ready to make a jump to $800 knives, $900 knives, but I also kind of went through the Wiis that I wanted, the Riots that I wanted, the Bestecs that I wanted. And what I like about Poikilo is they kind of gave me another step up that I can focus on collecting and enjoying before I, eventually take this step into either their mid-techs or, a newer custom maker or something like that, right? So, yeah, as far as daily user, this would be kind of like the mini tuna. This would be a permanent mainstay in my collection, but it wouldn't be a safe queen. This would definitely be like something that found its way into my rotation all the time. So it would be a daily user that I held on to, forever, as if it were, one of my safe queens or collection pieces. That's the other thing kind of about Poikilo is I've always said that my collection pieces and my daily users are often not in the same category. But I find that with these Poikilo blades, they're kind of blurring that line for me. Where, yeah, some of their knives I would just, save queen. But some of their knives I would keep, but also like daily drive. The Armadillo being one, the mini tuna being another. Probably the Taro, not the mid-tech Taro, but the base Taro would be another one that I'd use and keep. Which is cool because typically I don't like the idea of hard using knives that I plan to keep forever. And I don't know what it is about the Poikilos that kind of blurs that line for me, but it's like a knife like this to me just screams to be used. But also I like it enough that I wouldn't want to get rid of it, right? So let me know your feelings down in the comments. Is this something that you would keep forever? Is this something you would add to your daily rotation? However you feel about the knife, I want to know, right? I'm interested to see what you guys have to say. If you like the video, please hit the like button. If you want to see more videos like this, please subscribe. And, just another quick thank you for all the support and love. You guys have been absolutely amazing. This will be linked in the description. I don't get anything from White Mountain Knives, no commission or kickback. But it does let him know that I'm shouting him out and, giving his store some attention. And, that would be awesome for him to know that. So if you guys do end up going and buying from White Mountain Knives, S7 is my code, and I would appreciate it if you guys could use it. Thank you so much, and until the next time, peace.